Moved out at 4 months cause I had no choice. A young little Puerto Rican brother with no voice. I got taken from my mom's cause she got a bunch of problems. I got a bunch of problems too. Everybody talk behind my back, son, they talk a lot of smack. Everybody staring at me, fuck you, fuck you.
Let me go to the next step. This is going to DeX. I'm going to switch it to my DeX firmware because I do know that it's going to show me. It will show me. See, this is showing it's on CAPCOM. Let me go over here to DeX. And first thing you want to do is you want to dump your EID root key to switch to DeX. Say yes. Your system will beep and then it will restart set. Okay, now I'm going to go over here. There's Webman. Okay. Might have to fly through this because I don't want y'all to see the actual because it will show my CID and I'm not going to have that happen. So 1 second and I'm going to skip to the next part. Okay, you're seeing what I'm supposed to be seeing right now. You're seeing what I'm seeing. Anyway, you also see the other deal. And I'm doing that for a reason. That way you can't like tell on my CID because there's people out there who are going to jump on that. And right now, what I'm looking at is enable the dynamic fan control. You want to click that. You want to turn your auto on until like 60 degrees on, because this reads Celsius. It'll be 120 degrees Fahrenheit. And I always put mine up. Like I will start out like 60 normally. I'm gonna put this at 65. Just because I do not know how this system is going to run. And even though I'm not clicking the boxes beside like the manual, I'm going to do the auto at 60, lowest at 65, and I'm going to do emulator at 65. And to skip forward, I don't want y'all to see this again, so give me 1 second and I'm going to stop recording, scroll down, and I'll show you the next part. What you want to do after this is you want to scroll down to the bottom and you want to hit the save button. I don't want to scroll right now because it does show your CID. And I don't recommend anybody showing their CID to anybody because they're going to steal it. So give me 1 second, I'll stop recording, I'll save it, and then I'll show you the next part. Okay, now that you hit save, it actually pulls it up to this screen. And it will show you, it's like settings updated, click here to restart. You'll hear your PlayStation fan kick on. So you click that, your PlayStation will beep twice and it'll reset. Okay, my fan is like loud on this thing. I'm gonna probably have to do a little bit of cleaning. And mostly just because the temperature's up. Like with this firmware, you can see the temperature is running kind of hot. And that's you know, that's part of it. I mean, that's why you want to do this quick, because while you're doing a flash and putting the deal on, it runs that GPU and CPU hot. I mean, it will literally like bake that GPU, CPU. See, temperature's already gone down, so that's a good thing. I'm gonna let this cool down a little bit more before I start the next part, because it will shut off for a second. See, it's showing that I'm on Cobra 7.1 or 7.5 actually. That's good. Okay, just start out the deal. Since I've dumped the EID, let me minimize this so you can actually see the full effect. See, I've already dumped the EID root right here. Now you want to go to write target ID in flash. And that's exactly what you do. See, it's saying you found the ID root key. Do you want automatic conversion hex to dex? Say yes. After you do that, you hit swap level 2 kernel. That's a switch between the retail, CACs, and debug kernels. So now I'm on dex. Restart required. Yes. And these are the biggest reasons why I show this, because after all these years of these things being out, why would you want to be on CACs? It's so limited. So now, my fan's still going. I did cool down. See, I am getting a lot cooler. I might actually go in here and change it again. My fan speed should be a little bit higher than that, huh? Because I like to run about 50 degrees on the CPU and GPU. I don't like running over that. So I'm going to pause for a second, and then I'll bring you back into it. Okay, I'm back, and what I did right there is, if you do it like twice while you're actually you hit your PS button and starting to select, you can pull up what I just prompted to where it shows your temperature without pulling the CAPCOM or anything. And that is built into Rebug firmwares. It's targeting it. And I did that so you can see real quick that my temperature is dropping. And I did that for like I said, I like to run on a system. I like to run under 50 degrees, and this one seems to run a little bit warm since I did the jailbreak. It might run a lot better like later on, but right now it's still showing. I think it's doing good though, because it's showing the temperature drop. Right there, it went back up. And I think if I'm doing good in the 50s, it'll be alright though. You don't want it really shooting over 60 degrees. If you hit in 70s, it's pretty, because what you're doing is you're lengthening the motherboard life. Because you can replace a fan, that motherboard, you cannot replace that motherboard without completely reballing it. It's good showing that the RSX has gone down. The CPU is still running 54. So when you start calling out functions in your mod, like modding, it actually is going to run hotter. So that's one of the reasons why you want it to sit there and run lower temperatures. I mean, you'll have these guys saying, "Oh, my stuff runs 70, 80 degrees in Celsius." Well, they're not thinking it's in Celsius. When it jumps up, it's 100. 60 degrees is over 130 degrees Fahrenheit. 70 degrees is over 150. And you think about that. On your motherboard, it has got a paste on there that's made of silver. And silver melts at a very low temperature. So there's little beads also there underneath your CPU and GPU. Those little beads will shrink down in size due to heavy heat. And that's where you start having issues. That's where the Willoid comes from. Willoid comes from the solder actually melting on the motherboard. I'll sit here for a second longer, and because it is showing good and it's going down in temperature. Very good sign. Very good sign. Let me go ahead and minimize this. See, my fan speed's actually kicking back down a little bit because it's getting colder. So I mean, like I said, that's a good thing. That way I know that my fan, at least I'll replace a fan. That motherboard, you're not going to replace that motherboard. Not unless you got a $1,000 machine to reball it. And to get that off again, I'm going to hit my PlayStation button. I'm going to do this until it beeps twice, and now it won't be there. Like that's the last time it'll ping like that. Okay, so skipping forward, since I got my cruiser right here, it's still got the same firmware on there. I'm going to have to pull the USB. Just show you right here. The USB is going to disappear. Let me make this smaller. Put it into my PC. I'm gonna go to my firmwares. See, I'm gonna rename this one back to what it is. This is a 4.82. Rex spoof. And I'm like, that right there is that latest version of Webman, which I figured out it does not have. I mean, not Webman, but VREX, and it does not have Webman, which I don't like, because if you don't have Webman, you don't have fan control, unless you use another application. Let me go ahead and rename this. And we're going to do the same thing we did last time. We're going to take that part off, because that's our DeX firmware, which we are about to switch to. And just show you this PS3 update. This is DeX firmware. Let me go ahead and close that. Do that again. Go down here and safely remove hardware. Right click, eject. Pull it. Put it in the far right slot. And I'm doing all this because I do know this is cooling down. See, we're sitting at about 53 and 51, which is good. This is a good system. And every one of them is going to run different. It doesn't matter who you are or what you do. I've re-thermal pasted a lot of them, and it doesn't matter who you are. You're going to have every system react different to the temperature. So now I'm going to go system update. Since my USB is there, see cruiser. Storage media. Scanning. 0.2 right there. This just to go to show you, people want to like doubt. You're gonna find a lot of people on YouTube that try to claim they know what they're doing, and they really don't. I mean, I've gone through and I've taken viruses and everything else on my PC just to get everything that I've got. And you know, some of it, you know, is worth it. Some of it's not. But there's drawback, because you can do a lot here. Okay, so it's doing the firmware. See, like, I got stuff on here for doing, you know, this is just for PSN logos. I don't know why I still got on RTMs, but you know, like spur files. And I don't want to say anything bad about Beast Modz, but he's trying to claim he did 350 of these in a year. He's full of it. You cannot do that much programming on these in a year and actually give people quality stuff. He's wham bam thank you ma'am. He's not doing DeX. He's not doing everything else, switching firmwares. You're seeing right now how long it takes to actually switch the DeX. And just think about the hours. 365 days in the year. He's got to do it 350 days of the year. Actually, the full day doing that. Okay, guys. That has installed. See, I'm still working on it. But to conclude this video, I am going to do this and show y'all a little bit of the cold boot stuff. And pretty much this PlayStation is done, except for maps. I mean, there's a lot of DLC and stuff that you have to still do. Now I'll go ahead and do my DTM banner. That these guys that are doing these systems that try to do it real quick, they don't put even close to, they don't do DLC or anything. And they don't do cold boots. I guarantee you that Beast Mods doesn't do cold boots. That should be the list too, though. That's why I don't understand. What did I do? There's so many things in here that I put into it, and it's just way more than most people realize there is in this game. And to conclude that video, I'm gonna let it sit on its restart. I did think I have more things in there for multi-man. There really is a lot more things out there for multi-man than some of this other. But I'm not seeing it like put the Family Guy theme on there. It's pretty cool. The icon list. Having fun. All the fun.
Watch out, oh, watch out, oh, watch out, yeah. That's my shot, that's my shot.
Theme settings. You see the Rebug toolbox. See, that's what Rebug toolbox looks like now. That thing just like makes me laugh. That's it. Thank you for watching.